Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. Hey, everyone, happy Wednesday. Halfway to the weekend. You're almost there, folks. Hang in for a little bit longer. So this Jeffrey Epstein case just keeps getting crazier and crazier, and we just keep adding layers and layers atop of it. Now, it seems like every day something else comes out. There's new news. There's a little tidbit that if you were just looking at it on its own, it really wouldn't seem like it's important in the grand scheme of things. But when you look at all of this stuff together and you look at it as a big picture, there's just no way to deny what is going on here, folks. All right? It's just plain as day for everyone to see. And while I was talking with my source yesterday, it was eye-opening, folks. Absolutely, positively eye-opening. I thought I knew a lot about this case, and I thought that, I knew a lot of the ins and outs of the inner workings of the circle, but we've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to learn. There is so much more to come out, and there are so many other players that were involved in this that have not even been mentioned. So there's a lot more to come, folks, and just prepare yourself, right? With the documents that Preska's going to release and, other things that are in the works, you can expect that there's going to be some names being dropped very soon. Very, very soon. All right, so let's jump into our articles for this morning. I have two of them, and neither of them is very long. So we're going to jump into these articles and talk about what they have to say. So if you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. All right, the first article is from the New Zealand Herald, and the headline is, "Infamous Luxury Yacht Connected to Ghislaine Maxwell Arrives in New Zealand." The author is Chris Morris. A luxury yacht with a colorful past is due to arrive in Dunedin this morning. The 58-meter Dancing Hare arrived in Acade from Sydney earlier this week and is due at Victoria Wharf in Dunedin at 11:30 a.m., according to the Port Otago website. Now, this is obviously not the ship's original name, the Dancing Hare, and we're going to learn a little bit about that here in a second. Built in 1986, the yacht was bought from its original owner by British media mogul Robert Maxwell, who renamed it Lady Ghislaine after his daughter. So, while it's not hugely significant to the case, right, it's really not going to move the needle or break any records for news, but it's interesting that this yacht is floating into the New Zealand harbor, right, under the name the Lady Hare, when we all know that it was the Ghislaine Maxwell. And we all know that Robert Maxwell named it after his daughter, his favorite daughter, Ghislaine. Built in 1986, the yacht was bought from its original owner by British media mogul Robert Maxwell, who renamed it Lady Ghislaine after his daughter. Ghislaine Maxwell was a longtime associate. I hate when they say that, a longtime associate. How about a longtime participant? How about the brains behind the operation? How about the brains behind the brute who was Jeffrey Epstein? Come on, guys, get it together. A longtime associate of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein took his life in jail in August, allegedly, last year while awaiting trial on child sex trafficking charges related to his alleged abuse of dozens of underage girls from 2002 to 2005 at his luxurious properties in New York City and Palm Beach, Florida. The 57-year-old British socialite has not been seen in public for months. Again, the British socialite. Pedophile, okay? The yacht served as a New York base while Robert Maxwell, one of the world's richest men, whose newspaper holdings included the Mirror Group newspapers, negotiated with unions over his purchase of the New York Daily News. In 1991, Maxwell, 68, by then in poor health, was on board cruising off the Canary Islands when he disappeared from the vessel on November 5th. His body was later found floating in the Atlantic, and his death, despite an official ruling of accidental drowning, triggered speculation of suicide or murder, as well as the collapse of his publishing empire. Lady Ghislaine was on-sold, renamed Lady Acade, and later, in 2017, the Dancing Hare. So there sure are a lot of suicides, aka murders, around the Maxwells. It's just, I guess it's just par for the course for them. And there's always been a lot of talk that Robert Maxwell was clipped. We all know that he had serious ties to the Mossad and other intelligence agencies. We all know this, okay? That's why he was given the grand funeral he was given in Israel at the Mount of Olives. We know that. Everybody knows that. And we all know that Robert Maxwell was not a good man. And we definitely know that his daughter is an evil piece of shit, right? That's definitely what she is. Definitely 100%. Anybody who defends Ghislaine Maxwell is right there with her as a piece of shit, in my opinion, because this lady was the brains of the whole operation, folks. The brains of the operation. And for her to be skulking around still in the dark like this and moving from safe house to safe house like she's one of the Gambino capos who's about to rat on the crime family makes me ill. Bring her in. Question her, slap her with Rico, and let's get on with the people's business, folks, huh? All right, our next article has to do with another academic who had to resign because of his ties with Jeffrey Epstein. There sure seems to be a lot of these guys, huh? For people who are supposedly pretty smart, very smart, these people are pretty damn stupid. All right, the article is from the Providence Journal. And the headline is, Brown University fundraiser resigns after controversy over Jeffrey Epstein, by Journal staff, posted on January 22nd at 8:55 a.m. Providence. A Brown University fundraising director who was put on leave for his part in accepting donations from the convicted sex offender and pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Media Lab has resigned, the Brown Daily Herald reported. Peter Cohen, who was put on paid leave from Brown in September, resigned Tuesday, according to the Herald. Cohen, a Brown graduate, was director for development for the MIT Media Lab before moving to Brown in 2018. He was director of developments for computer science and data initiatives at Brown. Oh, another fantastic guy that fudged stuff and was taking money from Epstein and was just, not telling anybody about it and, just doing whatever he wants to do because that's how these people think they can run things, right? They just do whatever they want to do. The law, the rules, none of it applies to them. Cohen resigned despite saying on January 10th that an investigation into Epstein's donations to MIT showed he was following instructions of senior MIT administrators. Oh, I love that excuse. I was just following directions. I was just following orders. Isn't that what every war criminal in the history of the world has said? Go ahead and take a look at the Nuremberg trials and ask me how that worked out for those people. I was just following orders. The blazes out of here with that shit. Following orders. But you follow my fist. Cohen said the decisions to list hundreds of thousands of dollars in Epstein's donations to MIT as anonymous was made by top MIT administrators. Those people need to be fired as well, by the way. The fact we've talked about that already, I've already lit those people on fire over it because of their nonsense. How could all of the bosses not get fired while all of these other people do? It just doesn't make sense to me. There's no accountability. Today's report from MIT clearly demonstrates that I and others were following the instructions of senior MIT administrators in dealing with Jeffrey Epstein's donations to the Media Lab, Cohen said in an email statement January 10th. Cohen was reacting to the results of an MIT-commissioned investigation by law firm Goodwin Procter into Epstein's donations. The report found that in 2013, a year before Cohen was hired, 3 members of MIT's senior administrative team established a system for accepting Epstein's donations and listing them as anonymous to prevent negative scrutiny. Boy, aren't these people just fantastic? The smartest amongst us, supposedly. The people who are just so smart. Put together a system so that they can continue to take money from this sick bastard pedophile Epstein and nobody would be the wiser. And yet only a few professors have been fired. Only a few professors have been forced to resign. What about the leadership? Okay, the whole entire board should be fired. Whoever's in charge, the trustees, whoever it may be, they all need to be fired as well. The Goodwin Procter report found that Epstein had given $850,000 to MIT since 2002. It did not mention Cohen. Epstein was found dead in his New York jail cell in August while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. More than 100 Brown graduates and data scientists had signed a petition for Cohen to be fired over his involvement with Epstein at MIT. Good for them. Good for those graduates and data scientists who put the petition together and didn't want to be associated with this. You know, imagine you're one of these people that go to Brown, a very, very, very high-end school, and you know you're putting in your hard work and you're creating all sorts of things as a scientist, doing things that are, you know, good for humanity, and you get attached to this Jeffrey Epstein character because he donated stuff to the school. All of a sudden there's that veil of disgustingness over the whole entire university, and good on these graduates for standing up to that and pushing back and saying, get rid of this son of a bitch and get rid of the people that brought him in. It's the only way to make it right. The Daily Herald report quotes university spokesperson Brian Clark saying, while at Brown, Mr. Cohen's performance was deemed effective and he was a valued member of the team. The university wishes Mr. Cohen the best in his future endeavors. The report said Cohen declined to comment. So the university deemed that his performance was effective and he was a valued member of the team. Then why'd you make him leave? Stand behind him. Brown, show your true colors. I'm sure other people at Brown were chummy with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't have any evidence to prove that, but we say who Jeffrey Epstein rolled with. We saw the circles that he moved in, and we know that these people all stick together because the rest of us are just scum on their shoe. We're so below them that it does not even matter. We're not even we're less than, okay? We are less than anything to them. That's how these people think, and I don't think any of these elite scientists are any better. They look at us and they snub their nose, and they look down upon us because, you know, they're so much smarter than us. Yeah, well, guess not. I guess you're not as smart as you thought you were, sir. All right, everybody, if you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. And if you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link that is inside of the description box. To everybody who has donated so far, thank you so much. We're more than halfway to our goal. You guys are the best. So I will be back later on, folks, with some more stuff for you. All right, everybody, please enjoy your Wednesday.